According to family lore, history, the third word I ever said was record. It actually goes back as far as my memory goes back. I, wow. I started learning recording professionally, learning it at about the age of 11. And this was a long time ago, a very long time ago. I'm from southern Indiana in the Midwest, in an area where nobody knew anything about recording. I didn't know about recording. Where did this come from? Nobody knows. I have no clue. I always knew that I was going to be in the audio industry. I always did. Um, I was 14 or 15, maybe 16, more like 15 years old when I went to the Eastman School of Music in New York. And going at that time, going from Indiana to New York State to study recording with some of the best was unheard of. It was before schools, it was before any of that. It was completely unheard of. And with my mom and dad, I went, well, mom and dad, I'm off to New York to study recording for a few weeks. And they're like, okay. They most parents, if a 14-year-old would say, I'm off to New York to study recording, they'd say, no, you can't. What do you mean? And they went, okay. And I paid for it somehow. And I studied with people three times my age, and most people were in their 30s, and here I was, this little kid, and uh, I could have done the basic intro, and I knew that I was more advanced than that, and I was somehow. And I learned with Don Palouse, who at that time was the head of CBS Records, and a whole bunch of people who later became friends, who I knew from that. And then I went to University of Surrey in England, and at that time it was one of the world's best recording programs, and also Indiana University, which is a major music school and recording, not recording. Well, I had to design my own degree. Actually, I was one of the first. It was before there were degrees in recording. I had to design my own. And so at that time, the independent learning program. And so through Indiana University and the University of Surrey in England, I made what was one of the first recording degrees. Because at that time, I wasn't ready for life. I was too young. I wasn't ready for life. You know, I think a lot of students would relate to that one. And so yeah, and that's how that happened.